listening to the Simon and Alex Show podcast.
Hello and welcome to our very first podcast.
Yes. Well,
you may have heard us on the radio.
You more likely have not heard us on the radio.
You can't open on a negative.
Sure I can.
Anyway, we thought we'd give podcasting a go.
Yeah, it's not like we've got many alternatives. We can't exactly go into the radio station right now. So here we are. From the comfort of our homes, I'm in my dressing gown right now, which is the pinnacle of professionalism here.
Simon's in York.
Yep, Alex is still stuck in Durham. How have you been, Alex?
Not too bad, not too bad. Still been at work.
Yeah.
I'm one of the heroes that you call essential work.
Oh, of course.
Very, very humble about it though.
Of course, yeah.
And I know we're not going to pretend that we haven't lost the audio for the first half.
Okay.
Having to re-record.
Interestingly, this is recorded after the second half of this show, since one of the files corrupted and we lost the first half of the recording we had for this show. So we're doing it again, and we're just pretending like nothing's happened.
So yeah, we can't even pretend that you haven't seen the film yet, because you have. But for the people listening, we're going to be watching Moana.
Yes, I can't wait.
Yeah, no, I'm not too bad. Just chilling back in Durham.
Yeah?
There's not really much to do. Stuck in the house. It does not... Well, I woke up last night.
Yeah.
And it felt... Well, I thought you were still in the house. Because it was like a 4 a.m. wake up.
Okay.
I was...
Do I often disturb you at 4 a.m?
Frequently.
Oh, gosh.
Just after you've finished a long, hard session of Monster Hunter.
Of course.
Yeah. And I could hear noises from upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my bedroom's downstairs.
Yeah.
So, directly above my bedroom, Simon's bedroom. And still,
Yes.
I haven't checked what the noises were.
Oh,
but I'm
no.
gonna hope that they were birds and we don't just have...
I really hope there's
people.
nothing living in my room. As long as it's, paying rent, fine, but,
I mean, we're not allowed to sublet.
no. But then, a lot of landlords are just being like, oh, you don't have to pay rent for this bit. Everyone's stuck at home. You don't have to do that. Not ours.
No, and if you want more on that, check out the last episode of the radio show that we put on SoundCloud.
Where we delve into that for a good few minutes. Oh, dear.
But yeah, no, I've mainly been working on how to make the podcast hopefully better than the radio show.
Yeah.
Made like a list of our 10 commandments of how to be better. And I'm going to be a little bit more open to watching the films.
I am a big fan of this rule.
You'll be a massive fan of the next rule.
Yeah.
I'll try not to hate on you as much.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try and spread a little bit of love.
I tell you what, I'll do the same in return. I won't yell at you as much, especially if you're actually watching the film.
Well, why thank you? Because I feel that when people are listening to the radio show,
Yeah.
they're hearing us talk about films,
Yes.
which we don't really agree on film.
For the most
But-
part.
The podcast, we can kind of venture out and talk about other things.
Yeah.
And when we agree on things, there's a lot less
I think the thing
negativity
about
there.
when we're recording the radio show, because it's all live,
There's the stress.
there's the stress, so then I'm more prone to get to start yelling at you.
It's sort of like a crazy thing because actually getting to the radio station, we
Yeah.
have to do as well.
Oh,
And-
that stresses me out.
I know, and I don't get stressed at that.
Yeah.
And I know when you're super stressed and I'm not stressed at all, that really doesn't help. And the pressure to kind of fill in gaps and fill in empty spaces when we're talking on the
Yes.
radio show,
Whereas here,
that really doesn't help.
I could have disappeared right just then to go to the loo, and we could have just cut that out. You would have no idea. Maybe I've already done that in this recording. You don't know.
Yeah, every time that Simon's sister walks into the room and I flirt with her, he just cuts it out. So it's great.
Nah, she's got a brand new hammock today. She's sat outside with that, enjoying the sun, the good old Yorkshire sunshine.
She's reading Game of Thrones.
She's reading Game of Thrones. Of
There
course,
we go.
you're checking her Instagram. Of course. Oh dear. You been up to much in the house?
Well, I recently came across a lot of scrap wood.
Yeah.
So I've just
Where did
been
you get
building.
that from?
So my parents have been tearing out the house because they moved.
Yeah.
So my parents moved house halfway through last year,
Yeah.
and they've been slowly redoing it, like making the house nicer.
Yeah.
And now that they're in quarantine, they're kind of doing a little bit more, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they're ripping bits out of the house and then just chucking the wood in the garden.
Yeah.
And I go back over home once a week to drop off food for my granddad. So just
Alright.
go, leave the food bags, leave, and then
Get out
come
there,
back to Durham. And I went by yesterday to my mum and dad's to drop off some food for them. And my dad just said that I could take as much scrap wood as I wanted.
Well, that's it's every boy's dream.
It's my birthday too, so
Yeah.
one of the nicest gifts I've ever got. But yeah, no, I've just been setting away building things in the house. So when you come back, there'll be shelving units and just, yeah.
You're going to become a master carpenter. You're going to have like beautifully carved like a sculpture of a duck. Just sat in our living room. If I don't see that duck by the time I'm back, I'm going to be disappointed.
I will try and make that duck.
I look forward to it. I've got an update on some recent events that have been happening on my end. Because right now I'm living with my sister and my grandma who's got dementia.
Okay.
Mostly just so she doesn't wander off because of everything going on. Does
she wander off frequently?
No, it's more that she likes going on walks and talking to people in the village.
Okay.
And so she would normally wander about and go to the shop, grab a paper, that sort of thing. But obviously she can't do that right now. And we have to make sure she's not doing that right now. So we've had a few run-ins where it's been quite close, where a postman's coming up and delivering a letter, and she's sat in the front garden and goes up to talk to him and gets closer, like, oh no, don't do that, please.
Like a dog.
Yeah. And then there's sometimes where she gets all ready to go outside and then just doesn't, just sits in the living room. So I go,
bless her.
she goes and tells me oh yeah, I'm gonna head outside in the garden now. It's like, okay, I'll unlock the door and everything. She goes, put some shoes on and just forgets about it. And okay, the more recent event is she can sort of recognize what certain objects are.
Okay.
For instance, she can see a toothbrush and say, oh, that's a brush.
Did she happen to do that with you, Simon?
So what's happened is I've been keeping my toothbrush in a drawer in the bathroom just to hide it from her so she doesn't think it's hers.
Okay.
But that's not stopped her, because the other day I found it just out on the countertop in the bathroom, which made me like, oh no, I didn't get that out. I don't know what it's doing there. And then the next day I found that the toothbrush had disappeared, which was an even worse sign, to be honest, because now I don't know what it's been used for. Now, I said she can recognize...
Oh, God.
Yeah. She can recognize that it's a brush.
Yes.
So when I'm looking around the house...
Oh, I like where this is going.
Yeah. Trying to, put everything back to where it belongs. I go into her bedroom and find it on the windowsill. Which, of course, is the perfect place to put my toothbrush. And it's sat there, and I have a closer look at it, and it is covered in hairs. So she recognised it was a brush.
I mean, yeah, kudos to her.
Yeah.
She got the brush part.
She got, well, the first half. She didn't realise it was mine. She didn't realise it's not a hairbrush. So you can believe that it's firmly planted at the bottom of the bin. And to add insult to injury here, I wake up this morning and find we kept a packet of new toothbrushes in the drawer.
Okay.
They're out. They're all out.
They're all being used to brush her hair.
Not her hair. They are just out in the bathroom. But knowing the natural progression of events, I know where they might end up eventually.
Bottom of the bin.
But, lesson learned. My toothbrush is now in my room where it shall stay.
I assume this is a new toothbrush.
It's a new toothbrush, yeah.
Okay. Whew.
We also, when I found the toothbrush, I also found out what had been happening to some of the glasses we've had in the house. Because she sort of repurposed them into vases. But for twigs.
Oh, that's...
Not for any plants, just a twig that's come off a tree.
I mean, it's harmless.
Yeah. But then this morning, because obviously when I found this, I was like, okay, I'm throwing that twig out the window and I'm washing these glasses so we can actually use them. This morning I found the twig on the kitchen counter, so obviously I did not throw it far enough.
Oh, bless her.
Oh dear.
Other than that, are you doing okay?
Yeah. I mean, keeping busy, we've been swamped with coursework, by which I mean 2 that got an extension a month ago.
Are you on this new, like, any work that you do from now on can only bring your grade up?
Well, yes, for exams, but coursework, I think they're leaving that as, this still counts towards your grade. There's no support with this, you're on your own.
Do you have many exams in computer science?
Quite a few, actually. Yeah, I'd say maybe 5 maximum. Actually,
that's not too bad.
Yeah,
then.
No, it's really not that bad.
If they can't bring your grade down, it's okay.
Yeah, but obviously, I'm taking this as I can't lose, so I'm gonna do everything I can to up my average so that if I mess up next year, I'm fine-ish. We'll see how well that pans out.
So at the current point of recording, how far through are we with the podcast? How's it looking? Because I know you were doing the artwork last night for the Instagram post.
Mm-hmm.
And because me and Simon aren't in the same place anymore, we're going to have to be a little bit more adventurous with the way that we post on Instagram.
Yes.
Because we'd usually take a photo of the two of us and then send that. But obviously that can't happen.
I have mixed feelings on our Instagram picture. It's very weird.
No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We've decided that Simon's going to draw me and him in the style of Disney's Moana.
Yeah. Oh dear. That's going to be a picture to behold once I've got that finished. Which probably you'll have seen if you're listening to this, because it's the post we're using for the Instagram to promote this.
Yeah, I know we also have listeners who don't use Instagram, and I try to message those guys as much as possible just to keep them updated on how the show's going.
Yeah. Should we get a Facebook page or something?
A Facebook page would be okay, because I know everybody who doesn't have Instagram who listens has Facebook.
Oh, everyone's got Facebook. I would have happily got rid of Facebook years ago if it wasn't for everyone else has it, and it's the primary means of communication nowadays.
I think I only got Facebook a year ago.
Yeah.
No, two years ago.
You weren't missing much beforehand.
No, I completely forget that we're in second year.
Yeah. My little brother still doesn't have it, and I'm telling him, just leave it that way. You're not missing out on anything.
Well, I only got it to keep in contact with friends from sixth form, because up until like the last few weeks at sixth form, I just didn't have it because I didn't need it.
Yeah, I'd be happily rid of it because it's just a time sink, and obviously, you know how I feel about Facebook stealing all your data.
Yes, we've covered that in the radio show. Simon does not like
I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
B&Q.
I don't like my data being used by companies.
All these 5G towers, Simon. Bet you have a few words to say about them.
The 5G towers causing coronavirus is stupid.
But Tesco club cards selling your data to the mafia isn't.
I'm not saying they sell it to the mafia. I'm saying that they use it for advertising purposes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair play.
But not a fan. Not a fan.
We'll try and set up a bit more social media. We're going to use the holiday to try and expand the social media that we have.
Yeah. Expand our brand.
But it makes it easier for you guys to message us.
Yeah.
But if you have any, literally any ways that we can improve the podcast, please just drop a message to either me or Simon.
Yeah.
Because we listen, we've tried to make the podcast different to the radio show just to keep you guys entertained, because
it's a lot more laid back, I think.
Yeah. A bit less pressured and a bit less negative too.
Unfortunately, no music this time. I like doing the music. It's fun.
The music was good.
Yeah.
And
if we'd done this on the radio show, we would have had the music from Moana.
Yeah, I know. And I'm bugged at that.
Yeah.
But at the same time...
How about this? I've got a suggestion for you. When we get back in that radio studio, the first episode we do when we get back, we play one song from every movie we've watched in the podcast.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like
so
that.
we get a big catch up of the podcast music.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like that. Because we're still going to have a film of the week. We'll find out what film we're going to be watching next week at the end of this episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like that idea.
Yeah, I think it'd be good.
But we're going to try and make a podcast every week and release it at the same time as the radio show. So
Yeah. Every Friday, 7 p.m. It's the
Simon
know where to
and Alex Show
go.
podcast.
So yeah, if you want to get in contact with us for anything, we've got the Simon and Alex Show on Instagram. No spaces, no capitals or anything. Or we've got the Simon and Alex Show at gmail.com, where you can email us there. And I tell you what, we are still taking questions for our advice section. So if you've got any problems of any nature, drop us an email or a message. We'll see. We could figure out an anonymous way to do this.
Yeah, no, that's like if we had a Facebook page, we could set something up.
Yeah. Try to include in the message if you want to stay anonymous or not.
Yeah, so that was a very popular segment, Simon Says.
I hated it, but yes.
But one of the problems was when we did our first podcast today, that we couldn't advertise to you guys, the listeners, that we were doing a kind of Simon Says segment.
Yes, so
we don't have one this week.
Yeah.
But if you guys just message me or Simon, really, just coming up with problems you may have had in isolation, things that you may need help with, how to pass the time, stuff like that.
Or problems that don't mean anything at all. If you want to know who'd win in the fight between a man-sized beetle or Alex.
A man-sized man or a child-sized man?
Depends. It's the child-sized man of a black belt.
You bought it on Amazon. It's not a real black belt.
No, this is slander. I did not buy it.
If you earned your black belt when you were 10 years old, it's not a black belt.
I was 15 and it took 5 years to get. I'm not having the work I went to that discredited as a purchase on Amazon.
When I see that certificate, then I'll believe it.
I'll show you the certificate. I've got it at my dad's.
Do you have it now?
I don't have it here, I'm afraid. But it exists. I'll show it to you.
I believe that your sister's a black belt.
Why? She got it after me.
Yeah, so she'll have been older. So she'll have been fighting older people, not children.
No, it was done by weight class. Actually, no, it wasn't done
she'll
by weight class.
She'll have been fighting
no.
like infants.
I remember one of the tournaments, it was not done by weight class, because it was, but it's only weight class when you're above a certain age. So I was with everyone, all the under 18s that were black belts for this tournament, and I was a small guy back then.
Every single one of them.
Yeah, and there were some pretty strong black belts there. I was very outclassed when it came to black belt tournaments. I was fine in the lower belts where I stood a chance. Won some medals even. No goals, but that doesn't
I'm going to make it my personal mission to see if there's a way that I can become like an honorary black belt.
You can become a proper black belt. I think they have.
Just so that you don't hold it against me. The fact that you have this quote-unquote black belt.
If you start learning a martial art, I will pick up another one. Because
You'll
nothing
always
will be
one step ahead of me.
Exactly. If you try and get a black belt to stay ahead of me, I'm going to get another one. That's my goal. I'll just wear them all at once. I'll just strut like around town. Oh dear. So, shall we get on to watching the movie, Alex?
Yeah, I think we should. So we've just came back. We've had about
a couple of hours have passed.
We've had a few hours out, and Simon's back from watching Moana.
Yes, and I'll tell you what, Alex.
Thoughts and opinions?
I enjoyed it. I can see why you've been listening to the music a lot all week. There's a lot of catchy songs in there.
It's so good. Dwayne Johnson.
Yes. I did see a thing.
Stunning performance.
A thing on his Twitter where he's like, his kid was watching it, so he started to sing along, and his kid told him to shut up.
To be fair, no, I could see that.
Yeah.
One of the things as well, when I set out to watch every Dwayne Johnson film,
yes,
it's like, do you know how Marvel do a thing with X-Men, where in Wolverine,
yeah,
it's not a Wolverine film unless Hugh Jackman walks through a metal detector, either sets it off and gets annoyed, or doesn't set it off and gets confused.
I see.
Yeah.
Are you saying...
Every single Dwayne The Rock Johnson film that I've seen, now I'm not saying it's in all of them, but every one that I've seen, and I have seen a fair few, he does the eyebrow raise.
Of course.
You know the one I mean?
Yeah.
And the little peck dance. He makes his pecs dance. And I know how he does it in normal films, like The Tooth Fairy.
Yeah.
It's very easy, because he goes up to the director and he says, look, I want to put this in the film. The director says, go for it. But in Moana, he's had to go to the animators.
They probably asked him.
They've had to animate the eyebrow raise and the peck dance.
Yeah. I don't think Pixar does that much motion capture, so... Or maybe they do. I don't know. Because can you just imagine Dwayne The Rock Johnson, their motion capture suit doing this? They have to individually track each peck as it moves up and down.
I would watch that.
Oh, that'd be great.
I would watch that instead of the movie.
Yeah.
But no, it was a really, really good film.
Yeah, it's a very colourful film. I love that.
It's so colourful.
I
That's like my thing. Films like that, just they can hold my attention for longer.
Right. One thing I did think about,
Go on.
and I know you're gonna hate me for this. I did think around the middle part it was sort of like Mad Max, but on the boat.
See, I can see how you think.
Yeah,
that.
but it's just
And
that bit with
that is a valid.
Yeah,
It's a valid argument. Don't get me wrong. But on a lot of films, if they have that kind of thing, then they're gonna be.
Yeah, I mean,
like
it was mostly
most action films feel like they're rip-offs of Die Hard.
I mean,
Or that they're copying Die Hard because they do. But there's not really many other things you could do with boats.
no, you've not seen Speed 2. Don't see Speed 2.
I don't plan on it.
Do you know the whole premise of Speed and Speed 2?
So is Speed like? Is it Die Hard on a bus?
I'm sure you've been told that. Yes, it's where they're all being held hostage on a bus, and if it slows down, the bus explodes. So they have to keep moving. So there's a lot of tension. Like, oh, we're gonna run out of road. How are we gonna keep going? And then that's great. They made a sequel, Speed 2, where they did it on a boat.
Oh.
And there's a lot less tension with the boat because it's like... Oh,
I can imagine, because there's not any road to run out
exactly. It's just... You know the bit where they're being chased by the little coconut things?
Yeah. No, I wasn't that keen on that part.
No, it just reminded me of the massive war rigs. The music sounded like Mad Max said. I'm sorry, I'm too obsessed with that film. I realised...
No, it's all right.
I realised we've swapped places here.
What did you think of the... Is it Tamatoa, the big old
Oh, I
crab?
love the crab.
Oh, he is... Most films that I watch, I fall into the whole thing of the main character's my favourite character.
Right, yeah.
I felt the same thing when I was a kid with Pokemon. Pikachu was my favourite Pokemon.
That's just basic.
The main one.
Pikachu's not even like top 10 for me.
I know, I'm a basic when it comes to things like that. But Moana, that crab is hands down the best character in the film.
Oh, he's got one of the best songs, I think.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Did you catch the little after credits scene?
I didn't know. No,
Well, there's a little one.
That's something
for
to
you.
look forward to then.
No, he's got himself a MCU style after credits scene.
Of course. I did think one. If I had a criticism of it, it's the humor is very Disney. It's very like every Marvel movie's got this style of humor, and it's like it's enough to make me breathe slightly heavily out my nose. It's like, and that's it.
At the same time, though,
yeah,
it's made for. It is a family
yes,
film.
I know I'm not the target audience. It's a 20-year-old male.
In my defense, I was 19 when I watched it.
That's fair. Yeah. Now look at you now. You're an old man.
Well,
you're in
20-year-old who sang the whole theme.
You're in your third decade of life. How does that feel?
No, I'm not.
0 to 10, 10 to 20. That's 2 decades. You're in your third.
I only turned 20 today.
I know.
As of the podcast being released, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay. No, I'd say it depends when you were born. Like what time?
I was born right after the Grand Prix because
okay.
My mum and dad went to the hospital, obviously, to deliver me. They had to go to a different hospital because the one that my mum gave birth with my sister.
Mm-hmm.
I think they wouldn't let her back or something. She had a C-section with... Well, she had a...
What does she do?
Is it a C-section?
Yeah.
Cesarean?
Yes.
What's it called?
C-section, yes.
Well, my sister had to be like alien birth, where she burst out my mum's chest.
I'm not quite sure how C-sections go, but...
And the hospital said, look, you're going to have to go a little bit further away. I don't know why. I wasn't born. I was there, but I don't remember it.
Yeah.
And it was 23rd of April 2000, and the Grand Prix was on.
Right.
And not only did my dad say to my mum, can we hold on because the Grand Prix is on? I want to see who wins. But also, the doctor who was delivering me was also watching the Grand Prix.
Of course.
And my middle name's David.
Yeah.
Now, my mum claims it's because my dad's middle name's David.
Of course.
But we all know it's because a guy called David won the Grand Prix that day.
Oh, dear. I know a lot of people with David in their name. Like,
You mean me and David?
Well, yes, you and David. My dad, David. I've got a few friends with David as their middle name as well.
It's a really common name. Well, up here anyway.
It's a biblical name, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's part of why it's so popular. No, trouble is, I keep running into people called Simon. It's just getting annoying at this point.
Every
It's
day.
too common of a name. Now, Alex, I'm sure you never get this problem.
Oh, no. Being called Alexander. I hardly ever run into anybody.
Yeah.
The name's just so great.
So, summary of the film.
Summary of the amazing film.
I'd give it... I'd certainly rank it above a lot of other recent Disney movies.
Yeah, no, considering the year it came out, the fact that we aren't the actual target audience.
Yeah, it still did enough to hold my attention.
Animation-wise, there's some animated films coming out at the minute that are...
Yeah.
But...
still nothing will surpass Into the Spider-Verse for me, in terms of animation style, because that's...
That was, yeah.
It's just beautiful.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But as far as films go, I think that's... Moana's definitely up there.
Yeah.
Top 15 for me, I think.
I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I'd say, if I was ranking it.
It's tickling the toes of Monsters, Inc. for me.
Ooh.
When it comes to the league table for Disney and cartoons and stuff.
I think I've got nostalgia bias with that, because I think not Monsters, Inc. ranks above it still.
See, Monsters, Inc. frustrates me, because when they're running,
yeah,
and I hate to point it out, but there's a scene where Sully is running away from Randall.
Yeah.
And when he's running, his feet are moving and his legs are moving. But the way they're hitting the floor, it doesn't quite sync up properly, I don't think.
No, have you gone back and watched the original Toy Story and compared it to some of the newer films? Because, it looks
so good.
It looks whack. It looks Do you remember what the dog looks like in that film?
I remember the kid
Sid's
was
dog.
terrifying.
Yeah,
I remember that Sid was. Yeah,
they didn't know how to make humans look good, because no human in that film looks good. The dog's even worse, in my opinion.
No, to be fair.
Well, Alex.
Yep.
I've got the return of something you liked from the last episode we recorded.
Is it time for me to guess films based on the very, very bad description you're giving them?
Yeah, and you're in for an absolute treat this time.
All right. Well, the joy of this part is on the radio show I had to be quick.
Yes.
And I had to give in. But now we can just edit my thinking time out.
Oh, no. I'm editing your thinking time to the end of the show. So you can be like, I'll have a think about that. And then at the very end, before we say bye, you can, if you figure it out. But
my brain's big brain time.
Yeah. I will start with a nice and easy one.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Born ready.
Okay. A boy goes on a trip to meet his family and leaves once he's ensured that they're both going to have sex.
Oh. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Think about it.
I'm gonna say Back to the Future.
You are correct. Yes, that is Back to the Future.
If that's the easy one, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well done if you got that playing along at home as well.
At home?
Yeah. Well, it's not like they're going to be playing this anywhere else right now. Okay. Next one. A bunch of freaks frequently harass children until they discover their boss is corrupt.
Sounds like a typical Friday night for us, Simon.
Ah, yes, of course. Harassing children, unearthing corruption. It's what I do.
Right, a bunch of children.
A bunch of freaks harass children until they discover their boss is corrupt.
They don't have a dog, do they? Scooby-Doo?
It's not Scooby-Doo.
Oh. Wait, they harass kids until they find out that their boss is corrupt?
Their boss, not the kids' boss.
The children's. Okay.
The kids do not have a boss.
Okay, boss baby.
It's not Boss Baby. That's never going to be one of our films, by the way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I have actually sort of watched that film. And by watched it, I mean watched it with no audio, watching someone else sat 2 seats in front of me on an aeroplane. I
was going to say, was it on an aeroplane? Because it always seems to be playing on aeroplanes.
Funnily enough, it was just this, like, guy, it was this old guy without kids who was just watching it on his own. I guess you decided that was the best film they had. So...
that had, like, it was a really bad film, but it got really good press. Like, the advertising leading up to it was amazing.
Yeah, well...
But the actual film was a bit naff.
Anyway.
Is it like a superhero thing? If they're freaks?
No. But you're going along this right sort of line there.
It's the freak part that gets me. And the boss is corrupt.
Yes.
It's not like Baby Driver, is it?
It's not Baby Driver, no.
That's the highest form of corruption from...
Just to give you another hint, I know you've seen this film.
Is that the hint?
Well, that's my hint, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You've seen all of the films I'm going to talk about.
It's not animated, is it?
It is animated.
It is animated.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the Spider-Man?
No.
Spideyverse. It's superhero, isn't it?
Yeah, no, sorry.
Flip.
Animated bunch of freaks harassing children until they discover their boss is corrupt.
I hate that it's taken me this long to work out it's Monsters, Inc.
It is, of course, Monsters, Inc.,
it's
yes.
Monsters, Inc.
Well done. Now...
I don't know, but it's been said. I like scaring kids in bed.
I've saved the hardest one for last.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, you might not think it's the hardest one, but it is. In pursuit of ultimate power, a purple being must have a young woman sacrifice. At the end of the film, the purple being achieves ultimate power, but is severely wounded in the chest by a vengeful prince.
Endgame?
No.
No, Infinity War.
No.
No!
It is not Infinity War.
That is the dictionary definition of Infinity War.
I know, but it's not Infinity War.
A purple being. Again, is it animated?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
I may have lied earlier. I'm not entirely sure you've seen it, but I would expect maybe you would have.
It's the purple being part that I'm a bit confused about.
Mm-hmm. Purple being must have a young woman sacrifice. And it's an animated movie.
Purple being.
This one's a very tough one, so well done if you do get this.
I thought I had it.
Yeah, of course you did. I was leading you along, and then I just threw you a curveball there.
Purple being.
Mm-hmm.
How young's the woman?
I don't know her exact age, but she's between teen and young adult, somewhere in that area.
Okay.
You know, typical kids movie protagonist.
And the purple being, is it of Earth?
Yes, sort of. It's not an alien.
Is it Megamind?
It's not Megamind. No.
He's blue, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Purple. The sacrifice, does the girl die?
No, she does not.
Okay. Is that a key part?
It's a part.
My brain has not had to work all quarantine.
I gotta keep you on your toes, which is a funny thing to say if you know what film I'm on about.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
Toes. So toes are essential.
Yes, well, not just toes.
Whose toes are those?
We can't make that a reference. We keep watching this dumb video of it's like everyone's around a campfire and they're just saying, "Oh, who's ready for dinner? Whose toes are those?" And it pans over to a monkey who just starts screaming. Oh, that's gonna be fun to edit.
Oh, the neighbours hate me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We don't even need to put it in.
Come on. Purple being, girl sacrificed, injured in the chest by a prince at the very end.
Disney or?
It is a Disney movie, yes.
Okay. Is it like a classic Disney movie?
Fairly?
It's not Toy Story 3.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
because he's purple. Yeah, I see why you went that way. Nah, but who would the prince be in that?
Woody.
Nah, I wouldn't have described Woody as a prince.
No, because I think you were trying to throw me off with a little Infinity War thing. That's why.
Exactly. I'll give you one more clue in that it's a musical. But that doesn't help you too much.
Oh, you expected I watch musicals apart from Moana?
You've watched more. I was going to say, I know you watched Moana. But that gives you a sort of idea to what sort of Disney movie it is.
Okay.
Disney movie, purple villain.
It's the purple. How purple's this purple villain?
Top half. Well, most of the top half.
Right.
She's got white hair.
But is it the Little Mermaid?
It is the Little Mermaid.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, I'm amazed you got there in the end, though.
The top half, bottom half split made me think maybe mermaids.
Yes, no. Oh, I'm a big fan of that one, because everything suggests it's going to be Infinity War.
I hate you.
Oh,
No, I don't.
I told you it was a hard one. So, well, I've been slowly working my way through my supplies here. No, I've been attacking these, which obviously...
Ooh.
Yeah.
Was it 3 kilograms of sherbet lemon?
Yeah, it's 3 kilograms of sherbet lemons. Because I made the very dangerous discovery that you can buy sweets on Amazon in bulk. And me being bored and it's being not that easy to go out and buy snacks, decided, why don't I just buy all the snacks I'll need for quarantine now? So I did. And it was a terrible idea because it's going to rot my teeth. I just know it. Especially if I can't use my toothbrush because...
Sorry, if throughout the podcast you've been hearing little pings and buzzes, it's just my phone's been going crazy all day.
Yeah.
Because I'm just a really popular guy who everyone wants to wish happy birthday to.
Oh, of course. And if you want to wish Alex a happy birthday, you can call him on 07.
Too late!
I'm not doing that.
No, it'll be day after tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, better late than never. How have you been keeping yourself occupied in the quarantine? No, you can't say that as an answer.
Oh, okay. Literally just thinking about doing a podcast, getting the podcast set up.
This has been your life.
Tearing down things in the house and rebuilding them.
You should buy soundproofing foam.
I was going to buy soundproofing foam. I've sectioned off a little area of our living room.
Yeah, I was going to buy some earlier in the year for different reasons, but we don't need to get into that.
Yes. My friends are telling me off because they've poured big glasses of wine.
Oh, dear.
And we're meant to be having a little drinks video chat.
Ah, well, this is more important, surely.
Oh, this is so much more important.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this tomorrow,
happens every week. Birthdays
and I'm meant to be having
time.
drinks with you, then
yeah.
Sorry, but
I tell you what, I think you should try pick up a new skill. Maybe get practicing
Maybe
on
learn
that
the banjo.
Yeah. Have you played much of that recently?
I have, but then I cut my fingernails, and then I couldn't get a sound going, and I'm just starting to get back into it.
Use your fingernails.
I don't know whether I'm playing it right, Simon.
Yeah. I use like the fingertip. I don't use my fingernails when playing guitar.
No, but you have to like pick with the banjo.
Yeah, but I do finger picking on this as well. Besides, I thought you had some little claws you attach onto your fingers for that.
I do have little metal fingernails. Yeah. Not false nails, metal fingernails.
You should get like Wolverine claws and play the banjo like that.
I thought about trying to learn it with my feet.
Oh, God.
But I just don't have enough time and my feet are disgusting.
Oh, dear. I would never touch that banjo again if you did that.
I don't know what it is. I assume it's medical.
Yeah.
Because I wash my feet.
Yes.
And I think they just get really sweaty, and it's not like a bad... Like, it's not like a bad smell. It's just heavy sweat.
Right. Have you considered socks and sandals instead? Just keep your feet cooled.
Well,
but not
it's
too
bad
cool.
when I wear socks, because socks just sort of like hold the sweat. So sandals on their own are fine.
You should get those like in the socks that don't cover your full foot, just go up to your ankle.
No, I used to have a pair of them, but they were built into a pair of Crocs.
Why would they be built into a pair of Crocs?
Why
would you own them?
Built-in socks. I wore them to a job interview, and I got the job. So
where was this job?
It was a volunteering job at Bernardo's, but that's besides the point.
Why would you get Crocs with socks?
Crocs with built-in socks.
Crocs with built-in socks. Sorry.
They were so comfortable, Simon. Because I can't wear Crocs because I have feet like a hobbit, and whenever I wear stuff like that, it just rips the hairs off the top of my feet.
Ooh.
But the socks kind of helped that. But yeah, everybody used to sort of sit in my room and watch films last year when we were in halls.
Yeah.
And if
you sat there with
your
Crocs with your built-in socks.
If I wanted them to leave, I would just take my shoes off.
Oh, no.
And then gradually they would leave one by one.
Oh, that's grim.
They kept coming back.
Yeah.
But yeah. On that note...
Can you get deodorant for your feet?
I think it's just called normal deodorant. Well, Simon?
Yes? Well. We've got something to discuss first.
Do we?
Yes. Since we're recording another one of these, that means we have to say what film it is going to be next week.
We do have to pick a film for next week.
And
I've listened to viewer feedback from the radio show, and I'm going to embrace the fact that I should watch these films.
I agree.
I'm going to do my research on them. I'm going to find out why they're good, and I'm going to have an overall more positive view on the film.
Yes. Now, I'm going to slightly modify the film I'm asking you to watch. I am actually asking you to watch Blade Runner.
Okay. No,
but
fair. That's fair. I'll watch both of them.
Exactly. I'm going to ask you to watch both of them.
No, that's fair. I didn't watch it for the show.
Yeah. I prefer watching the second one. It's close, but it's a really good film, the second one. I think I prefer it. But it's better if you watch the original first. I reckon you will actually like the first one, because you like Ridley Scott. Okay.
Well, I'll give it a watch. I'll give them both a watch again. Yes. Gonna have a more positive outlook on the podcast.
Yeah. We didn't know what we had until we lost it. The ability to not have time to watch films.
Well, Simon, before we wrap up,
yes,
I think you have something to say to me.
What do I have to say?
Well, you let me pick the film, and I picked a very good film.
Yes. I see. You want an apology, don't you?
No. I want the opposite of an apology.
Thank you.
Well, what can I say except you're welcome?
Of course. Oh, I hate that.
Do we end it there?
No. Oh. Thanks for listening.